Good morning. My name is Juliet, and it's my honor to welcome you to our celebration at the Red Deer Spiritual Center. To begin with, I'd like to start with a small meditation. So if you would please close your eyes and go within. Take a deep breath, quiet the mind, calm the body, focus within. Bring in a beam of light from Creator Source through your crown chakra, following all the way through. Every chakra is triggered. Every chakra is wide open. Allow it to flow all the way through to the very core of Mother Earth. Visualize another beam of light coming from Mother Earth, coming up and entwining with the beam of light from Creator. Allow that beam of light to go all the way through to Creator. Between those two beams of light, you will find an energy of unconditional love. Allow that love to grow. The beam of light is growing where you are totally within that beam of light. Breathe in the unconditional love created just for you. Allow every cell of your body to be filled with unconditional love for self and for others. Allow that beam of light to replace every pain in your body. Focus on releasing that pain and allowing the light to fill its space. Know deep within your heart that pain served its purpose. You are no longer in need of it. It is time to release. Breathe in and feel yourself growing in unconditional love. Know that as you move, as you trigger all of this through the day, it will touch all those you come in contact with. Breathe it in and let it go. One more time. In and release. I would like you to come back into the room and allow this energy to stay with you as you focus on the activities of today. Bring yourself back into here and now. And let's start our service with the opening affirmation. Please read with me. With an open heart, I enter into this experience called Christmas. I rejoice in it all, friends, family, giving and receiving. Most of all, I acknowledge the gift of spirit, as my innermost truth and make the choice to live the wonder of that gift. And so it is. We have some announcements today. We have bingo on Wednesday. I will need 4 helpers for that. And for those of you in TV land, please give me a call if you can come and help. We need volunteers. My number is 403-358-0098. I welcome all your help because I can't go and help. So all of you double-vaxxed people, I need you. We have our yearly Christmas Bureau. We have a box here in the building, and we ask for donations of new unwrapped toys, pajamas, mitts, toques. So long as it's brand new, it's accepted. Now, our word, we don't have anything else. Okay, our word for the day is detachment. That's a big word for kids. So all our bigger kids will probably understand it. Detachment is experiencing your feelings without allowing your feelings to control you. It is choosing how you will act in a situation rather than just reacting. In other words, we take the time to think for a minute and let it go. Our affirmation for today: I choose to be my best self no matter what happens. Please repeat it. I choose to be my best self no matter what happens. And today the theme is Journey of Becoming. The title talk is Blessed with Enough. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Reverend Valentine Owen, who will give us our talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. I'd like to just thank everyone who's here and everyone who's listening to us out there in the electronic world, because we truly are blessed with all the people that come here and all the people that listen to us and support us. So let's just begin this morning as one voice, setting the tone and the intention and the consciousness of being blessed with enough. This morning, we allow ourselves to be touched by the energy of transformation, by that Christ consciousness and the celebration of light that is in the center of our soul and our heart. We acknowledge that Spirit is expressing through us for our highest good and the good of others. We let ourselves be completely open to the love of Spirit that is within us, a love that heals and blesses and transforms us, a love that unites, inspires, and delights us with enough. Let us remember to honor our divine nature and to let it shine in the world as our gift back to God as we journey through this lifetime. So this morning, I want to share something with you and how I came up with this title. I was going through some pictures because I wanted to make a photo album for my oldest grandson about some of the people that are in his family and about some of his ancestors. And as I was going across some of the pictures, I came across a picture of my mother's oldest brother. And it reminded me that when I was in Europe, that's where I learned something from him about being blessed with with enough. You see, he told me that in his homeland, which was Belarus, they had a ritual. And I'm not sure where that ritual came from, but I was reminded of it when he was saying goodbye to me at the airport. He kissed my cheek, and then he said, "I love you, and I bless you with enough." And he said those words to me, tears came up in my eyes, because I remembered my mother doing the same thing. I remembered when my mother, my grandparents, and I lived in Austria. We were in a refugee camp, and those are the things that people said to each other. And also, my mother said that to the people that came to visit her in her home when we first came to Canada. But sometimes, after a while, she quit saying that. she stopped saying, I blessed you with enough. And I had totally forgotten about that until my uncle said those words to me. So when he said those words, I asked him to explain the meaning of what he was really saying. And when he explained the meaning, it brought back a lot of memories for me. He said that his parents, when they lived in their old country, because that was from a time long, long ago, it was from that old generation. He said when people came to visit their home and when they left, his parents always said that I bless you with enough. And that was because they wanted that person to feel enough good things in their life so that they would feel sustained. And as he talked to me, his eyes welled up because he started to remember. He started to remember the meaning of what that was when he was young. You see, I cannot tell you everything he said to me because I really can't remember everything. But I do remember some of the things. And so I want to share that with you. When they said, I bless you with enough, and they referred to happiness, it was so that you would find joy in your life and sunshine to keep your attitude bright. When they said, I bless you with abundance, that was to satisfy your wants so that you would have enough love and know that you are cherished. I bless you with enough tomorrows, and that was to express your heart's desires. And also, I bless you with enough peace to feel the essence of God in you and to feel that essence in your soul. But most of all, when they said, I bless you with wisdom, they were referring to the fact that you would know that you were good enough and that you would have enough blessings in your life. And then he said, Christus u vás žije, and that translates into God in you lives. But their language is a little different than ours. Their verbs or nouns are kind of replaced. So when we say it, we say God lives in you. So today, let's know that God lives in us and we live in God. Therefore, we are enough because we are blessed with enough. That's what I want us to realize here today, that we are always enough and we are all blessed with enough. But at times, many of us struggle with the self-imposed message that there is something wrong with us, that we're not good enough, or I'm not okay, I'm not lovable, or deserving or worthy of God's great good. We impose that feeling of not being good enough or not blessed with enough. We impose that on ourselves. Some of us even project that feeling on our friends, our family, and sometimes even on the strangers that we meet in different places. That is something that we put onto the people that are in our life. We feel that maybe they're good and not good enough. So do you have that feeling about your mate or your children or the people that you work with, that they're not just doing it right or they're just not good enough, that they should know better, do better, be better? Even about yourself, do you have that idea that you're just not good enough and you always need to be better? Well, as long as we project those feelings upon someone else or something else, we will never have that feeling that we are good enough or blessed enough, because whatever we project on someone else, it returns to us. But the truth is, we all are good enough. We are each God's creation, and we were created to be good enough. God would not create us any other way. We each were born with our own unique talents, our own unique needs, the desires and abilities. These are the things that make us who we are, and that's what we become. You know, sometimes we wonder, how does this idea of not being good enough come about? Well, for me it was when I first came to Canada. I didn't speak English. It took me a long time to learn the language. And in order to feel accepted, I developed a perfectionist complex. It made me feel that I wasn't good enough in certain areas of my life. If I could not do something perfectly, I wouldn't do it at all. Of course, that kept me from doing a lot of things because it kept me from learning how to do them. It made me timid and it undermined my courage to try something new. The worst of all, it made me hypocritical of myself. And when I made a mistake, it wasn't just a mistake. It wasn't just a mistake that I could learn something from. It was a disaster in my life. And I used that mistake to prove to myself that I wasn't good enough. I believed that if I was good enough, I'd not make those mistakes. Now that is utter nonsense. That was a very crippling idea that I had. And yes, I truly did think that way. Do you think that way about some things in your life? How many of you think that life is fear-based? How many of you think that maybe you're just not good enough or your children are just not doing things right? Earlier you heard me say that I was timid and lived at times a fear-based life. Now most of you who know me today would not perceive that about me. So what helped me to change that? This teaching, it gave me the tools to change. It gave me the courage to change my ideas about myself. I'm so grateful for this teaching that helped me to learn to love and accept myself just the way I am. The good, the bad, and the not so ugly. Through the teaching of the science of mind, I learned that instead of trying to suppress the areas in my life where I felt not good enough, I needed to reveal and embrace those very things. I needed to embrace the things that I was most afraid of. And by facing those aspects of myself, I got to free that idea that I wasn't good enough. I got to experience the spiritual part of myself that is forever good enough. Our life becomes transformed when we make peace in the areas where we perceive ourselves as not good enough. We also learn to love all of ourselves just as we are. Real self-love is not about the absence of negative feelings and emotions. It's about the summation of all those feelings. This means accepting the sum total of all that we are, the good and the bad and whatever the ugly is. So we are here to restore ourselves to wholeness, to remember who we really are and that we are enough. Our full magnificence is more than anything that we can imagine. When we know that we are enough, we meet life feeling good about ourselves, just the way we are. We don't have to make excuses for what we haven't accomplished yet or where we think we're not good enough. The person who accepts the self as enough doesn't need to be praised for them to feel good. And they don't fall apart if they're being criticized. They don't take that criticism personally. Because you see, both praise and criticism is somebody else's opinion. And we should not be dependent on their opinion. When you know you're enough just the way you are, your relationship to yourself is loving. And the energy that you have is spent trying to live your life the way you want it to be, rather than trying to prove to others that you are enough so that you can be accepted or loved or whatever idea that you have. When you know you're enough, you're comfortable with your background, your talents, your abilities, and also some of the limitations that you may have. Because you know that none of those things define you. You are more than all those things that you think you are. When you know that you're enough, you are sure that you can do whatever you want to do because you have faith in a higher power. You believe that that higher power is always with you. It supports you, it nurtures you, and it allows you to feel who you truly are. You see, there is a transcendent place in all of us that has never been made more by what we do, and it never has been made less by what we don't do. We are enough because we contain everything that makes our thinking center, because that is the life creative intelligence that we have inside of us. This means we are enough because we exist and we think. If you want to experience being enough, you need to accept the idea that we are enough now, just the way we are. And you need to start living that way. Whatever we want in life, we can have. But the first idea that we have to eliminate is the idea that we're not good enough or that we can't. We have to develop a consciousness that says we can. And when we feel good enough about life and who we are, we truly believe that, yes, we can. You see, the best approach to shaping our life is to first accept our enoughness and then decide what we want to experience in our life. Be that health or happiness or love, wisdom, or honest relationships, or rewarding work, or the abundance that we desire to have in our life. Or we can say we want all those things, because that's truly what I would want. And we can have it all, for there is no limit in the mind of God. The only limit that there is in our own thoughts. So what limiting ideas, what limiting thoughts do you have about yourself and your life? See, examine what those ideas are. What are those ideas in your mind? Know that you are deserving enough and blessed enough. You have within you everything necessary to grow your ideas or whatever you want. Our life always starts happening in our mind first. That's what we teach here. We say, change your mind and you can change your life. Therefore, change your mind to create the kind of life that you desire. The thing to remember is, we have the ability to influence our life because we can think. That's the best blessings we have. We are blessed with the ability to think. So why not start thinking that we are enough just the way we are, and that we're blessed with enough? The life force that created us out of itself allows us to use this creative power with one prerequisite, and that is, you will always experience your life by your dominant thoughts. So what do you think of most of the time? And if you really want to know what you think most of the time, take a look at your life and where you're not happy with it or where you're dissatisfied. That'll tell you what you think of most of the time. Therefore, why not give this creative principle in your mind the opportunity to respond to your thoughts that make you know that you are enough and that you're blessed enough? We are told in this teaching that we create by means of the sum total of everything that is going on in our mind. So it's our thoughts, our attitudes, our beliefs, our opinions, and the feelings that all combine to form our consciousness. And it's our consciousness that determines our experience. That's the truth for us. We and we alone are in control of our life. All our experience are created by our thoughts. And when I say we're in control of our life, this should be wonderful for those of us who are control freaks, because we really control our life. The only problem that happens with us that are control freaks, we try to control everybody else's life. And we shouldn't be doing that, because we are only in control of our own life. What we hold in our consciousness appears in our life in one way or another. And like I said, you know what you hold in consciousness by the outpitching of your life. The thing to remember is that we are the thinker. We are not the thought. We think the thought and experience the results of our thought. We are the believer, not the belief. We hold on to our beliefs and they become our truth. We are the one who feels. We're not the feelings. We give our meaning to the experiences that develop those feelings in us. And we can change any of that at will, because we're the thinker, we're the believer, and we have those feelings. That's why we can change that just at will. Think of the experience in your life, and you have one idea about it, and then if you change your idea about it, you totally change their feelings about it. Therefore, we really are in charge of what goes on in our mind. We are in charge of the way we perceive our life to be, and only we can change our own perception. Nobody else can do that for us, because we're all individuals. We can look at the same thing as somebody else looks at, and we can have a different perception of it. You see, know that you are wonderful, prosperous human beings. You were blessed with enough. You have a personality, a humanity, a way of being in this world that is yours and no one else's. This makes you unique and valuable to humanity. You are loved, capable of loving and being loved. Within your own heart, there is a bright light of God's worthiness, of God's divinity, and the beauty and the love. You are enough just the way you are. You do not need to become something else or someone else. There is only one thing that you need. You just need to be yourself, to express yourself, to love yourself, to trust yourself, and believe in yourself. God gave you all those abilities. They are in you. Trust that, believe that, have faith in that. This creates a feeling of being enough in yourself and believing that you are blessed with enough. So please repeat after me. I am enough right now. I am enough right now. I am blessed with enough in every area of my life. I am blessed with enough in every area of my life. I feel it and I love it. I feel it and I love it. I live it and I believe that it is so. Live it and I believe that it is sowing. See, knowing that we are blessed with enough makes us realize that nothing is greater than our spiritual identity and our relationship with our Creator. And in turn, we are the creators of our own life. We create the experiences in our life. So if we are the creator of our own life and we create those experiences, why not create the idea that we are enough and all the blessings that we desire in our world? Our world comes to us from within our spiritual self. When we live in a state of feeling that we are blessed with enough, we call into our tomorrows more health, more love, more abundance, and whatever experience we choose to experience, because we bless our world into being. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change for us. So what would you like to change in your life? Only you can do that. Embrace this teaching and discover what a blessing your life can be. Give yourself the gift of being blessed with enough. Know that you are magnificent. Yes, all of us are magnificent creatures of that one power. You are an amazing being because no one else is like you on this planet. You have your own unique eventual idea. You have your own unique thumbprint. No one else is like you. So believe that you are the best, that you're enough, that you can be whatever you desire. You have gifts and talents that uplift and inspire others that are in your life. Know that your very presence brings joy and happiness to others. So shine that gift, shine your light, share your gifts, receive your good, and know that you are blessed with enough. This morning, give yourself the gift of being blessed with enough. So what I'd like to do now is do a meditation. So if you want, just hug yourself and go within, or touch your heart and feel these words. Take a deep breath and breathe in that love. Breathe in that love into your soul. Today, let's declare that we are blessed with enough wisdom to know the truth of who we are. We are God's creation that is always blessed with enough. We are blessed with a loving heart that always gives and receives love. As we see the good in others and all of life and ourselves. We are blessed with creativity and the courage and the ability to create the life that we desire. We are blessed with enough abundance to sustain all our wants, and we are blessed with enough that we can share it with others. We are blessed with success and divine protection as we have a positive outlook on life. We are blessed with self-acceptance, health, and happiness to express the goodness in life. We ask God to move through us, to heal our lives, to fulfill our dreams. So today, I rejoice in my abundant blessing as I go about my life, giving my best to the world. For I am enough, and I am blessed with enough. I know that divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I love, and all that I circulate, and so it is. So just relax. Relax into yourself and bring yourself back into this room. And as you come back into this room, I encourage you to receive these words and meditate them. Meditate upon them and embrace them into your life. Let them sink deep into your heart and your soul and become the reality of who you are. know that you are good enough and you are blessed with enough, and so it is. So now I'd like to ask Reverend Tess to please come up and do our closing part of the service.
Okay, since I'm Reverend Tress, I'm going to be a rebel because I can be a rebel because I have the microphone. And I would like you actually to repeat with me, and it's on the green sheet, and it is our prosperity affirmation. And I just want to say we are prosperous because each of you came. You have no idea how it makes my heart and all the other ministers' hearts sing to see your faces. It's like, yes, yes, oh, yes, yes. Don't want to be too loud. So if you will please repeat with me. Today I live in a gratitude knowing that spirit is limitless and my experience of it is limitless. I give freely. I am open to a free flow of good to me, through me, and from me, and I feel truly blessed, and so it is. Now, we do have a closing affirmation, but I am not done yet. I would like the camera to follow me, please. I think he's saying okay. If not, you won't see me. And I'm standing in front of a very special person right here, and I think that person should turn around and look at the camera. Our very own, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friend, Reverend Gail. You're just getting taller all the time, Gail.
You're just getting cuter all the time.
Oh, do you hear that, hubby? I'm getting cuter all the time. No, don't you sit down. Are you at all interested in saying a little bit of,
Closing prayer treatment?
yeah,
Sure, I will.
I forgot the name of it. Can you believe?
I believe it, I believe it.
No, there, you got it.
Right here?
Right here. Oh, purple fingernails that go with her hair. Way to go, Reverend. Oh, yeah.
You gotta be, keep up with the times to keep up
Oh,
with your
yeah.
with my family and my daughter and everybody, so.
Well, you-
There we go, purple fingers, purple
Oh,
hair.
and her earrings.
Okay.
Oh, sit down.
Oh. Please know with me that we are one with God, one with all creativity. And as we grow and as we go, we know that we are enough. In this time of dysfunction in our lives, in our country, we know that God still comes first and God still gives us enough. We know that life is good, all is good, and so are we. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, sweetie. One more thing. God will love you. God will love you.
love you too, Jess. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
You're welcome.